Anama, please go ahead. Anama, you have to unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anama Jacob, and I welcome you to this webinar. Today, we are here to discuss on the topic skill development initiatives for rubber sector skill in the state of Kerala. For this, we have our eminent speakers. It's my pleasure to introduce you to our session. We have the Managing Director of CASE, Mr. Chandrasekhar S. the IAS. We welcome you, sir, to this session. Next, we have Ms. Sudha, Director Training for Rubber Board of India. Ma'am, we welcome you to this session. We also have Mr. Venu Gopal, Joint General Manager for HLL Lifecare Limited. We welcome you, sir, to this session. Our moderator for this session, Dr. Rani Joseph, is a postgraduate in chemistry from Kerala University. She did her BA, BTech and PhD in polymer technology from Cochin University of Science and Technology. She is a member of many academic bodies and has 38 years of teaching and research experience. Currently, she holds the position of chairman of Indian Research, IRI, Kerala branch. We welcome you, ma'am, to this session. With this brief note, I request Rani, ma'am, to take the session ahead. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate RSDC for organizing a webinar on skill development initiatives in the rubber sector for the state of Kerala. It is very important that we stakeholders of the skill development in the rubber sector meet often to take stock of the ongoing skilling program and to suggest improvements and modifications. Now, Rubber Board and IRI are involved as training providers in the rubber sector. We should constantly uh, watch and see whether the skilling program is done effectively. I am sure the panel of eminent speakers will touch upon all these points. Any modification required under the present scenario, all these things we can discuss. And I have great pleasure to invite Mr. Chandrasekhar, IAS, for the lead presentation. He has wide experience as the collector of Kannur and as Director of Employment and Training with additional charge of MD, Kerala Academy Skills and Excellence, Government of Kerala. So I invite Mr. Chandrasekhar S. IAS to give his presentation. And the presentation he can take 10 to 12 minutes. Over to Mr. Chandrasekhar. Sir, please.
Chandrasekhar, sir, I request you to kindly unmute yourself.
Actually, sir is in a meeting and I'm the operations manager case. Instead, I will be attending the session.
Okay, okay.
So can you just give me a few more seconds to gather some information and get back?
Okay.
So I will speak as the next person.
Oh.
Rani ma'am, I think we can take over to Sudha ma'am.
She has done her MTech in polymer technology, and at present she is occupying the position as the Director Training Rubber Board. And Rubber Board is involved in many training programs, especially in the skilling programs. and she is the key person involved in these training programs. Over to Sudha P.
Sudha ma'am, I request you to kindly unmute yourself.
Okay, good afternoon to all. Thank you, Rani Madam, for your nice words. You are the master trainer as well as the mentor for the skill ecosystem altogether, holistic way I am talking. And your contribution in your academic capacity as well as an industrialist is commendable. With that gratitude, I am opening my session. Actually, before proceeding, I have a word of appreciation to the RSDC team. The opening remarks in the cashier talk, I was communicating with Ms. Shivani that you are launching a series of programs during the lockdown period in a silly manner, but her reply was very much very planning process is going on. She is collecting that the entire team is collecting ideas from globally, nationally, and last level locally. So, and thank you for that. So this is the right time to think about local. That is our corona, our novel corona has led us to reach to our local resources. Thank you, thanks and congratulations for the entire RSDC team. And coming back directly to our skill requirement and our revamping of the skill ecosystem related to the rubber sector, I'm representing Rubber Board. Before proceeding with the manpower and the job opportunities, our top priority with respect to natural rubber, you may be knowing that it is the real backbone of the entire 75,000 crore small industry. Not only the resource, through the major two universities in Kerala, namely our CUSAT as well as NG University, all these personalities came out with the flying colors. They are holding key positions in all major industry sector and serving different parts of the country. So with respect to the major basic raw material as well as the human resource, which is the ideal requirement for the strengthening any industry, is from Kerala. We are proud to say about that, and thank you for identifying Kerala as your first destination for the local activity. Coming back to our natural rubber production sector, we have a lot of concerns, as I said earlier. Majority of our plantations are marginal holdings. So because of the price clash that has happened for years, last few years, the farmers are reluctant to tap the material from the tree. There is no new planting is happening. So all these led to drastic reduction in the production, whereas the consumption is shooting up. So the gap between the production and consumption has widened to about 5.6 lakh more metric tons in the country, leading to the gap is normally filled by imports at cheaper rate. Again, crashing the morale of our growers. So all these are our concerns. Again, coming back to our production capacity in Kerala, 75% of the national production is from the small state Kerala. So we have to ensure how we can tackle all these concerns first. That there a prominent role is for the skill development activity. First thing regarding currently what is happening in our work front is that 30% of our mature plantation is not undergoing any tapping. So last 4 years we were trying our level best to mobilize more resource towards advanced technologies, cost-effective technologies for tapping through our PMKVY collaborative project with NSDC and RSDC. To certain extent, that could produce results. There was increase in production as well as productivity. But again, the manpower resource angle, what we are experiencing is that majority of our tapping community is above 50 years of age. So youth is not getting attracted into the system. This is a major challenge in addition to other challenges which are all beyond our control. So there should be holistic approach from all the linking bodies, how we can address all this is a major issue. If the major raw material is eroding from our country, there is no meaning in conducting such programs. There won't be any sector skill at all. This smooth flow of natural rubber will not happen in long run, because other NR producing countries like Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam, they set their targets towards value addition. So this normal flow of import cannot be assured for the industry. So immediate intervention is required from the government level as well as other associated stakeholders to give proper attention to secure this sector. With these few introductory remarks, I am coming to our area, how we can operate and regenerate this system to address the, apart from the quantity, there are quality issues also. You may be knowing that you are working for the last 4 years in this line. Major primary process to form of our brother is ribbed smoked sheets. There a lot of quality issues. 30% of the RSS produced in our state is not acceptable to the consuming industry, mainly the tire industry, who are the 70% of the consumption of our produce is by the tire sector. So these two issues, as a short-term intervention, we have to address immediately. So what are the opportunities available to address all these issues? We can take one by one.
I think so. Can you check that?
Pardon?
Yeah. Okay.
Can I continue?
Ma'am, you can continue.
Yeah. So, 3 decades back, the then visionaries have framed up rubber producers clusters in the Amul model, no? So when a crisis occurs, this is the right time to empower the clusters. So earlier there were financial support from the government to do a lot of locality activities towards natural rubber promotion, but all this has curtailed. So how to empower the system? So that we thought, we were discussing for years how to revamp, how we can bring a change management to take the agriculture activity independently without any financial support. For that, when we thought of revamping the production sector, it is imperative to mobilize youth for taking the farming activity in a business mode. So, along with the skill development, last 4 years we were focusing skill development. From in the future coming years, what we are giving trust is developing entrepreneurs. So that is cluster itself is a hub for attaching minimum 2 resources per society. We have constituted 2,500 rubber producer societies through the entire NR growing belt in Kerala. So at least 2 resources can be built up with every RPS. So you can imagine the immediate job creation opportunity there. With that perspective, we are planning to launch some PG diploma and certificate course of long duration for mobilizing locality-based resources. No, this is the right time. People are, they are losing, many NRS are coming with losing their jobs. Then there are graduated from the lower, locality, either from the SH self-help group community or marginal robber community. We can look for weaker group for undertaking this course, and after that we are planning to put them in internship mode or apprenticeship mode in rubber board itself, so that they can after working 1 year with the rubber board, they can acquire adequate skill in rubber cultivation and rubber plantation management, and they can either do the business independently or they can take a job in rubber producer societies based on in a business risk, what they can bring. So our plan is to, along with moving with the rubber sector skill council, we are planning to associate it with interconnected sector skills, because we are not giving any subsidy for any financial support for the first 7 years. The daughter is not at all getting any income for the first 7 years. So currently our agriculture ministry is taking, our Kerala government's agricultural ministry is triggering to looking for self-sustenance in agricultural crops. With that perspective, some intercropping opportunity we are trying. So agricultural sector can be associated, collaborated. Then we want to develop business skills for the participants. Then IT skills, of course, that we are giving. Then finance literacy, that is imperative for undertaking business activity. So either we can validate our job roles with this perspective, or we can tie up with other sector skill council. With that perspective, we will be trying our level best to revamp our NR production and assurance of right quantity and right quality for the industry. Then coming to the value addition sector. Again, this is the right opportunity, when we look for the consumption ratio of our tire and non-tire sector. The non-tire sector, the consumption is very low. That is one thing. Another thing, even if we are mobilizing through our ongoing programs, we will be mobilizing in the range of 200 to 300 MSMEs per year. But because of so many reasons, they are gradually vanishing from the industry after 3 or 4 years. So there we have to intervene, how we can address, how we can make them globally competitive. So along with developing entrepreneurship, we are planning to develop infrastructure to provide cutting edge technologies in advanced areas, because you may be known that Kerala, right now Kerala is having around 650 manufacturing units. So most of them are producing conventional products. The variety is very less. There is no injection molding unit currently working in India, in Kerala. There is no automatic vulcanization system is having with our industry. So then microwave curing, these are all technologies available to other states. So that is one area we are focusing. Along with that, we are looking for government support also. Unlike our corona imposed opportunity is the value addition in latex segment, because surgical demand for surgical gloves and surgical items have shot up. Many have already come forward, but we are again lagging behind to take that opportunity. That is also in our agenda. Then coming back to export avenues, that not at all tapped by the industry sector in the country. That is, tire sector is exceptional to that. I am talking about the MSMEs. So there also China was dominating. You see, the per capita consumption of India is, even today, it is less than 2 kg, 1.3, 1.29 around. Whereas China, within a short span, advanced to 6. One minute. 6.3 kg per around. So this is another opportunity for us to take the industry forward, focusing the export avenues. Again, the limitation for developing Kerala, we have not focused the avenues properly. Is it because of lack of vision? That I don't know. Again, there are opportunities, especially all this driver segment. Non-tire sector is mainly ancillary items. Either it is for automobile segment, for industry segment, or what is construction area, railway. So many sector-specific components have to be developed. So any individual industry cannot supply all the components to a particular sector. So this is the right time to look for cluster approach in investment by the government, in either by 100% by government support or in PPP mode statewide. So Kerala has to come forward and exploit that opportunity in export markets. For that, we have to develop adequate resources. Again, multi-skilling angle, we have a lot of engineers, they are unemployed. I just went through the statistics in the internet and I found that right around 1.8 lakh qualified hands are jobless in Kerala. So all these resources we can be rightly pulled, and interdisciplinary approach can be tried in developing our sector for value addition rather than selling our raw material at throwaway price. That is another remark I am looking on. In that perspective, we are again launching certificate PG diploma, BVOC and MVOC programs in rubber technology areas. Again, we try to generate jobs as well as job providers. That is our objective. In that perspective, during last June, an incubation center has been opened by our RRI to address the innovative product development requirement of the industry, existing industry or entrepreneurs coming to us. Then another activity, recent initiatives taken by Rubber Board is launching of a REACH lab for promoting export-oriented products. That is also underway. Then as far as our training institute is concerned, we are also planning to extend our collaboration with all possible means with international professional institute as well as universities and other skill providers to develop multitask skills in rubber sector suiting to the requirement of the industry. These are all our future plans. Our earlier activities, the impact study revealed that it was very much productive, especially the plantation PMKV projects we have undertaken for plantation sector. It could bring improvement in production as well as productivity, promotion of cost-effective technologies towards cost reduction. Then another interesting factor is that in Kerala, 40% of the participants were marginal growers opted for self-tapping. That was also a enlightening thing for us.
Please come to the conclusion because we have time limitations. 12 minutes is allotted for each presentation.
Yeah. So we wish to continue whatever activities we are ongoing activities of the Rubber Training Institute under the plan scheme of Ministry of Commerce, as well as we try to scale up our PMKVY activities and collaboration with the ASAP, also Government of Kerala, towards employability enhancement of students. That is also will be continued, and as international tie-up also we are thinking seriously. These are our future plans. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. We are keeping all the questions towards the end of the program. So now, who is going to give the next presentation?
Excuse me, Rani ma'am. Chandrasekhar as IAS couldn't join. So Mr. Subin Das, the Chief Operations Head of CASE, will be joining us. Ma'am, you can ask over to him.
Mr. Subin Das.
Yes.
Chief Operating Manager.
No, madam. I am the operations manager.
Operations Manager.
Yes.
Could you please give your presentation?
Madam, actually, I'm really sorry for being late to this really required webinar on initiatives of the rubber skill development sector. Even though I am not prepared well, I would like to speak few words on in what way CASE can associate in the skill development of rubber sector. As the previous presentation was telling, they require a lot of support to develop entrepreneurs in rubber sector, and CASE is actually looking forward employability enhancement as well as skilled manpower of Kerala. We are the skill secretariat and state skill development mission, and we actually in the last year we tried to incorporate the rubber skills sector in the PMKVY scheme, but due to some issues with the NSDC, it couldn't take place. But at present situation, we are in a position to take any new projects. We have sufficient infrastructure available with us. We have sufficient scheme available with us to currently engage in the skill development sectors. I mean, especially in the rubber sector. We haven't focused on that particular sector. I think in presently Kerala ASAP is doing the skill development activities for under RSDC. And as far as I know, they are training it on the rubber processing side only. It is like a course for who were the students who were doing this, who were doing some sort of courses with regard to chemistry or something, like the polymer chemistry students, or somewhat manufacture after production of the rubber latex only, the processing side is being taken by, training is given by ASAP on the processing of that particular latex. But I think in the sector, actually the skilled manpower should start from who is doing the tapping work. They have to be trained so that they can do it in a perfect way and increase the productivity, so that many more people start to invest on rubber. Even though government has ensured the minimum guarantee price of 150, the present market price of rubber is coming down. And if sufficient number of manpower is not available, then the cost as part of the investor who is doing the entrepreneurial activities or doing the plantation of rubber, actually it will be a problem for them to find sufficient profit from this particular farming. They might switch to other products, and ultimately what will come is like domestic production will go down, and we have to rely on imports heavily. So the domestic it can have an impact on our domestic economy as well. So sufficient number of people who are trained enough to do tapping properly should be identified, and case through our various initiatives can do the training, and we can associate with them. And madam, the previous madam was telling like they are trying for some international associations with regard to skill development, and cases having sufficient facility to ensure the same. And one more issue might be there, like lack of training facilities. Proper training facilities are lacking in this particular sector, because people are more oriented towards some sort of like hospitality industry or healthcare, like that they are focusing on. This is actually in a way doing some sort of great contribution to the economy, starting from the production. Even we cannot think of a day in which we are not using any sort of rubber products. If we are traveling from vehicle or any products in our home, rubber is a very good is present everywhere. So that kind of attention is not given in the skill domain sector, skill sector of rubber. People are not focused over it. Anyway, the efforts are being taken, and maybe lack of promotion or lack of training facilities across Kerala. If, I think in RSDC is presently operating this course in Ernakulam based, Kochi based, or somewhere they are having some training centers. But in all the districts, almost the southern districts, or anywhere rubber plantation is there. This is kind of traditional workers are doing the work, and who is the owner of the land or who has done the plantation is not getting a sufficient profit. That's also a scenario we have to address. And also cases in the process of identifying some job roles where we can accommodate the NRKs or the jobless youth. In this can be done even if a particular person owns some sort of land. He can come and get trained. No serious kind of entrance exam. Nothing will not be there. It is made as a regular skilling. Whoever was interested or who are in requirement come do the skilling, get skilled. That's kind of a thing we can facilitate. And also main thing is that in the polymer chemistry, which is having some in KUSAT, I have visited some centers where rubber processing is done in a campus and students are attending it, and also they are finding it difficult that the number of seats are very limited. So we need more kind of technique. We are not in a position that only specialists should be there, or if they are few in numbers, again this is going to affect the particular sector. So we need n number of trained manpower who is in a position to even proper plantation should be there, should be done. Otherwise they will find it, the yield will be getting affected. What area it can be done. And if you see in the southern region of, especially in Trivandrum, the rain shelter for tapping is not seen properly used because of lack of awareness or lack of sufficient manpower facilities. They are not using it. So production is also getting affected because of the variation in the rain season and all other facts. So giving them information regarding how to process, or starting from the plantation and how to process it on their own end, making a good rubber sheet out of the latex they have made, is also very pivotal in uplifting this sector. I think the efforts taken presently, like the madam was telling, it will yield some results. And the case being the State Skill Development Mission is very much happy and interested to associate with RSDC in establishing more training centers which can the end-to-end training. Madam was telling multidisciplinary training. Of course, that is the need of the hour, and case is very happy to announce that. Again, I am sorry for being late to this presentation. That's all the time. If any question comes in, I will be answering it in the end of the session. Thank you, madam.
So thank you very much. Question answer session will be after the presentation of Mr. Venugopal. And so please wait for the question answer session also. So Mr. Venugopal, HLL occupies a premier position in developing healthcare products, and Mr. Venugopal is a very experienced trainer and auditor, and I have great pleasure to invite him for the presentation. Over to Mr. Venugopal.
So good evening, Madam Dr. Rani Joseph and Mr. Annama Jacob, then Mr. Sudha Madam and Chandrasekhar sir. I'm extremely happy to be a part of RSDC for the today's webinar. Last 2 weeks back only we have a panel discussion we made in the same topic. Now this topic is very relevant in the present thing regarding the skilling of rubber industries in Kerala. Actually, this has done now the change has done drastically with respect to a point of COVID-19. So my presentation focused on how that what are the present initiatives or the rubber initiatives made in Kerala as part of skill development, and what will be the future, and what will be the what are the issues and what are the challenges faced before us, and both in connection with the COVID and also with respect to the skilling problem. So I made a presentation. So let me take you to the presentation. Okay, madam.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay. Okay, you can do your presentation.
So you can share your screen, please.
Okay. Madam, can you enable that presentation? No, because I think it is not enabled.
So you can do the share screening.
Okay, that's what. But it is mentioned host disabled participant screen sharing. That is shown like that.
Just a minute, sir.
So this is done. You can share your screen.
Okay. Right. Madam, is it video? Is it viewable? Hello.
Yes, sir. We can.
Okay.
view it, sir.
So welcome to my presentation. So on skill development initiatives in rubber industries in Kerala. So first, let us see. Okay. So India being the so first coming to the introduction, India being the top 10 rubber producing nations in the world. Hmm. So sorry. So India being the top 10 rubber producing nations in the world, and natural rubber latex is most important raw materials for manufacture of different products. And actually now the price has been the increasing trend in 1994, and after that the price shows a decreasing trend to 2002 for the natural rubber. So coming to an overview of the rubber industry, so India is the fourth largest producer of the natural rubber in the world, and the second largest consumer of the natural rubber in the world, and is the fifth largest consumer of natural rubber and synthetic rubber in the world, and the largest manufacturer of reclaimed rubber. And India and China constitute total 48% of the rubber production. Coming to profile, we have dry rubber industry, which includes tires, then O-rings, industrial goods, etc. And latex industry, we include gloves, condom, catheters, then foam, rubber threads, etc. So major consuming sectors, it is an automotive sector, then bicycle sector, footwear, belt hose, and rest of the products. So in coming to Kerala, we have a total rubber cultivation of 5.45 lakh hectares. And we have the production of natural rubber declined by more than 15% every year. And reason for that, it is unusual and excessive rains, incidence of leaf disease, and low price, and also poor return on high labor cost, and unrestricted massive import by the TAT company. So these are the main issues, challenges for the rubber issues. And we have natural rubber and synthetic rubber, which is rubber. Natural rubber is used from the mainly harvested from the rubber plants, and synthetic is made from the petroleum and coke and oil and natural gas. And coming to production, these are graphs showing the production. So first Thailand, then Indonesia, then Malaysia, and fourth comes the India. And coming to consumption also, we are coming in the second position. Then we have annually produces 710 lakhs of rubber. And also Indian rubber has a turnover of 12,000 crores, and we have an annual production is not meet the internal demands. Coming to Kerala, the largest producer is Kerala, 92%, and second largest producer in India is Tamil Nadu, third largest is Karnataka, and Tripura and Andaman. Then Kerala is the leading consumer of rubber, followed by Punjab and Maharashtra. So major challenges we are facing in rubber industry is low domestic production, high import duty, volatile prices, and lacking support, global competition, and inadequate government support, and now the new issue like issues relating with the COVID-19. So we'll see the challenges. So basically the rubber skill development. So basically the PMO under the guidance of NSDC, RSDC has been formed for the skill development of the rubber sector. And we have a pool of skilled labor, especially for the rubber industries. And we have the joint interaction with the rubber industries, academia, and direction from the government, which has gotten unlimited opportunities for the rubber sector to have mutual benefit from the shortcomings of the labor issues. So that is being now the focus is more on the joint interaction. And based on that, we have set up a national occupational standard, or NOS, and benchmark the quality standard which is needed for a rubber industry, and which will benefit the industry, and to create a brand image. And now the skill building, actually for the skill building is a main focus area for the rubber sector, and that can be viewed as an instrument to improve the effectiveness and contribution of the laborer to the overall production of rubber. And skill development is the most important ingredient to push the production possibility frontier upward and to take the growth to a higher trajectory path. And let us see what the present scenario of the skill development. We have a rubber board started tapping skill development and embodying training program, and Kerala accounts for almost 85% of the Indian rubber, which produces 0.6 million tons of natural rubber. And we have an rubber park at Aidapuram, Ernakulam, and Kerala is the leader in rubber production. High demand of rubber has opened immense opportunities in the Kerala, and we produce 95% of the total supply of rubber, which is for the rubber wood in India. And we have an integration of the stakeholders, industries, labor, and academia to achieve the common goal of creating a skilled workforce made by RSDC. Thanks for RSDC and Rubber Board for this such a good initiative. And also now the current initiative that with the help of RSDC, we have standardized the job roles through the development and NOS for the rubber sector. Basically, this standardization has been completed for the dry rubber industry, but focus is not given to the latex industry. So I think is the right time for us to think of standardizing the job roles and also the development aspects and also job profile for the latex-based industries. So that will be coming in my next slides. Then after the other initiative is we have identified the critical job roles and conducted the NOS pilot project survey in tire as well as the non-tire rubber industries. And also we identified in rubber industry, we have identified the skill gap and skill development made in the rubber industry to share the feedback to the NOS for the rubber industry. And also we have affiliated rubber training institutes to provide training to the students as per the parameters of NOS. And also the trainer TOT program has been given and certified to ensure the quality and consistency of the trainers, and assessment of the trainers has been made on a continual basis. And also in the rubber sector, we have identified the 16 job roles and the qualification packs based on the job roles. And this should be extended to the latex industries, latex based industries. Then we have started on the job training given to the rubber technicians or operators in the rubber industry, refresher training to the employees, and also as effort made the ASAP to give the teaching to the rural areas on rubber development initiatives. And also we've made a skill metrics for the employees working in the rubber industries in specific area with the job responsibilities and the skill acquisition acquisition has been engaged with the help of a polymer specialist or representatives from the rubber board. And also as HLL also we are doing this as the skill metrics for the rubber for our employees in the company. So as part HLL, actually we are contributing a lot of aspects regarding the skill development. So we have a unit called HLL Management Academy, which is affiliated with HLL Lifecare for the skill development programs of HLL. So we have a program affiliated with the RSDC, and HLL was awarded the best training partner for the year 2019 from RSDC. And I got the award as a best master trainer during the year 2019. And also we have from HLL, we have two students who has completed the course of HMA were awarded the best skill development trainees under the RSDC for the year 2019. And also the HMA has we have completed almost 755 training of the employees at our HLL Perukara factory and our Balramuram secondary packing unit. And also we conducted the programs in other rubber industries like in Rapco, etc. And this is the photograph of our CMD receiving award as a best industry partner to the last RSDC annual award function 2019. And rubber development initiatives of HLL, actually we are conducting programs for junior rubber technician, lab chemist, material handling and storage operator, and through RPL, and we have completed 20 TOT programs for the executives of HLL. And future we have a plan to have an association with ASAP for the development of rubber skill development courses. And coming to the challenges and issues, so that first is the limited placement opportunities of the students. And second is the need to increase the industry participation to improve the practical components of training. And it is our need to strengthen the industry readiness of vocational trained students, and the limited awareness of the uptake of the skill development initiative due to the preference of our white collar jobs and also the professional education in the present scenario, so that much trust has to be given for the polymer or rubber related training programs, and limited opportunities and awareness for upskilling or continuing learning. Then we have the limited availability of these high skilled jobs, then skilling of traditional industries, then lack of entrepreneur culture. And we have coverage because actually these RSDC programs are not covered only for large scale industries. So we have more coverage on small scale rubber units to address their skill development programs for the employees, for the future development, also for improving the productivity. And we can, then there's a cluster of rubber industries can be collaborated for more focus on skill development. And also we have to make a refocus on skilling problem in rubber industries from the price competition and to convert this to a quality competition. So next other challenges we are facing is the vocational training institutes collaboration jointly on a long-term basis. So that is lacking, and more train the trainer programs has to be organized. And we have to set up a corporate skill excellence training center in the rubber skill as part of quality enhancement in future. So that's a mandate. It's a requirement which we can think of setting up a corporate skill excellence center. So RSDC can thought like that. Then we have to give a high prioritization to be given for rubber skill related jobs in industry. And of course, we should make a succession plan for the employees in rubber industries. So the challenges and issues which I made for a technical thing is strengthening of QA QC for skill training. Actually, our QA and QC team should be strengthened to give that skill training, and the implementation of multi-skilling activities. So actually, as part of COVID, now the issue like that, we have a lot of manpower issue is there because people are not coming due to the lockdown, etc. So we have to think of multi-skilling, like compounding a Banbury operator. No, he should be conversant with the molding operation, or he should operate a dual extruder, or he should operate a fabric calendering operation. But for latex also, we have a compounding man who should take care of the molding and vulcanizing operation. But that such sort of multi-skilling is needed. Also the troubleshooting skill. Now that is also needed. Troubleshooting skill and application of SPC's tools, like a statistical process control tools for effective process control for a rubber technician. And we require the analytical data analysis and interpretation skills needed for lab chemists. So that trust has to be given for in these areas in the technical aspect will be better. Then apprenticeship training that has been pointed out earlier to be provided to the junior operators after the coursework. Then the qualification pack, I told you like that, relating to the latex-based product manufacturing industries. Then it's a new concept called the RACI method. That's called implementation of recurring activities combination index. Actually, it's a method of multitasking to avoid the monotonous of nature of the repetitive jobs by the operator. So it's the right time to think about the multitasking. And we have that, then another issue facing with the like industries like that, we have approved calibration agencies, no, because there are a lot of equipments, no, so a lot of calibration agencies are there. Who are the approved calibration agencies? Such sort of list is available that will be better for the industries. Then standardization of testing methods and procedures against the various rubber standard applicable, considering the criticality of the test. So in this case, no, we can see there are some new product. Like for example, I can tell you like female condom. There are 4 standards are there. In the 4 standards, the specifications are different. Also, testing methods are also different. For like measurement of dimension and inflation properties. So like that. So that even people are getting confused, you know, whether they are testing against which standard, etc. The order is against which standard, etc. So if you can make a standardized procedure of the testing standards and procedures against various standards, it will be better for the industry, so that the criticality of the test also will be known applicable to all the employees. Our next technical or challenges issue, the issue which I am demonstrating, we can introduce a system of vestibule training of method. Rubber board can think of to be introduced along with the rubber skill development training program. Like we can demonstrate the cross section of a Banbury chamber when the students are being training inside a classroom. Like vestibule training, like we can have a models of rubber equipment, manufacturing equipments, etc. And they can give an online training based on that during the classroom session. And the standardization of the rubber technologies, manufacturing technologies, considering, because like I told you, because now there are even for our product also there are a lot of complicated technologies, there are simple technologies that we can have a like Okamoto technology and Richard Terman. Both the technologies have its own plus and minus, but we can have a standardization mix such that the mix should consider the skilled as well as the unskilled laborers. So considering that, we can identify or we can standardize the technological aspects during in the manufacturing stage or during the design of the machineries for the rubber production. And also we can have, based on that, we can have an organization work around technology and skill composition and regular status of workforce. We can maintain based on the standardization. And we have, of course, skill on handling the innovation of new product. That also, because the R&D, a lot of new researches on rubber development is happening. So that skill on handling, that also can be made. Other thing is now that some specialized training course on latex mixing and compounding. Now actually now it is limited to machine that the junior rubber operators, lab chemists know. So like latex mixing, compounding and machinery handling. So this is more important now because a lot of rubber handling equipment now it is automated. Banbury is getting automated. So the machinery handling skill that also been included as a part of curriculum with the RSDC program, that will be better. And now the issue like that, since it is fully automated, no, these are operated on PLCs. These PLCs, so operation of PLC can be included along with the machinery handling skills. So they should know about instrumentation aspect, etc. So coming to other things like testing, also now we are using homogenizers, microfluidizers, etc. So in that also the equipments are highly sophisticated. So the specialized trainings now during the rubber course curriculum, etc. can be included by the RSDC. It will be better that that will be useful for the industries. Otherwise, no, when they come to the industry, we cannot give a training with such a highly sophisticated equipment with the trainees. No, actually, once it is operational, operation will be highly complicated. No, so that giving training in the same machinery will be difficult for that. So that if we can give a specialized training courses, so that will be better. Then train, that is the one thing, this is a focus point, because we are conducting programs like junior operators, lab chemist and material handling operator. We can add courses like latex mixing, then compounding and machinery handling skills. So that very important, machinery handling skills. So that's a separate course or curriculum has been there, that will be better. And next is regarding the technical expertise on indigenization and import substitution, especially for rubber product. That also is the area of thrust for R&D. So that also some skills are needed. Then skill on handling the environmental issues relating with the latex or rubber waste during the processing and reclaiming of the rubber during the process. That also the skill. So that also can be included as part of the curriculum, which is not there presently. And the multi-skilling need to be operate the plant. Now let us see what are about the COVID-19 impact now. So these are the some issues which we are facing in the industry, like multi-skill. Now what happened now, our manpower, sometimes we are forced to run the plant with only 30-40% manpower. So with the available manpower, we cannot, because in the process, the continuous operation, we cannot stop down a particular area, because that will affect the entire operation. So that we have to engage the people who are working in one area to the other areas in other days or in the next shifts or something. So that multi-skilling is needed. So it is now it is a right time to skill about to think about the multi-skilling to to overcome the manpower issues after the COVID lockdown. Another issue which we are facing is since the COVID activities has been, we have stopped the triple on lockdown, etc. The unplanned stoppage of the plant occurs. So what happened now? We are compounded the latex. We have made a stock for 5-7 days. Immediately it was announced that we have to close the plant due to the triple lockdown. So the increased maturation of the compounded latex and resulting in the overcure nature of the latex when it is started after the COVID start, maybe 20 days or 30 days. Normally we are keeping 3 to 4 days. Even if we do the blending with the undercure latex, in the process stage, it will be a highly difficult task. So that issue, so the skill is highly skilled in compounding and also for for a maturation, for maintaining the maturation and also for checking the cure, maintenance of cure, etc. is needed at the current situation, considering the above that, and also for the tire also, maybe the rubber compound sheet getting over maturated, which results in the variation in the rheological properties during the tire production, and this happened to the unplanned stoppage of plant. So this area which we need to address, like the skilled manpower, is highly essential to cope up with the situation, because we never faced such a situation in the earlier scenario. So all the shutdowns and extra was only planned for 1 or 2 days. Now this is not the case. All the shutdowns are unplanned shutdowns. We don't know when it will be getting started. So how to cope up with the situation? That sort of skill, employees having skills, so that sort of skills are needed to cope up with the present situation. There's now the increased maturation of raw latex. That also processing in the process stage of maybe some first centrifuge is over. We are waiting for the second centrifuge. So that maturation of time is over. So how much time we have to keep like that? So that also, for that purpose also, the blending and etc. highly skilled, matured manpower is needed. Also the skilled manpower needed to operate the plant due to the above process change. And another thing is to cope up with the above change, we have to sometimes change the process parameters in the production. That also we were forced to do that sometimes, depending upon the drying, because basically for latex industries, only the drying condition is done basically on the visual parameters of the film or visual appearance of the film. So we need to change the process parameter, and we do the revalidation also. We need to do the revalidation considering the change in the process parameters, which need a skilled manpower, etc. And the other thing is in the immigrant labor issue, that we don't have much issue here, but there are other states in Kerala which have the challenges relating with the immigrant labor issues in connection with the COVID, and also social distancing protocol that also affects the process efficiency in the rubber manufacturing industry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Could you please try to come to the conclusion?
Yeah, yes, this is my last slide, madam. Social distancing protocol also, that also which will affect the process efficiency in the rubber manufacturing, because social distancing protocol means we cannot engage manpower, and the person who has to carry out some specific jobs in a particular work area, he has to carry out the other activities also. That will affect the quality of the product manufactured at this COVID-19 for all rubber industries. So these are the challenges in the skill development relating to the COVID-19 in the rubber industries. So thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello. Thank you.
Hello.
Excellent presentations today. And now it is open for question answer session. So I request the audience, if they have some questions, kindly put it forward. Hello.
Ma'am, I think we can take ahead with the questions. Mr. Subin, we have a question for you.
Okay.
How CASE is helping the industry and the youth of Kerala state with regard to skilling activities, and what are the future initiative planned which will be helpful for the sectors like rubber? Mr. Subin, I request you to kindly answer on this.
Yeah, I got your question. Presently, we are not dealing with any courses in rubber sector. Presently, we have some Kaushal Kendras, communities, Indian infrastructure for in construction, and some other like that. We are not currently engaged with offering skill courses in rubber sector. But the PMKVY state scheme, we have tried to incorporate some courses from rubber sector because of the increased demand from the user group. But unfortunately, due to some technical issues with the NSDC portal, we were not in a position to accommodate new courses from that sector. the future plans of CASE expanding its arms, we will be definitely engaging in rubber sector. We have some roughly 90,000 square feet of space available to set up any sort of skilling activity. If some agency who are proficient or some industries who are into the skilling in rubber sector, we have the accreditation scheme that the state skill development vision along with them can issue joint certifications, and we have center of excellence establishments we can establish some center of excellence dedicatedly for rubber, and maybe we can transform it to a interdisciplinary training centers. In all these areas, we CASE can associate with any of the skill development initiatives in rubber sector, and we are actually looking for engaging in rubber sector as well. Presently, we don't have any.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next, I request Sudha ma'am. Ma'am, what are the initiatives taken for skilling in Kerala by Rubber Board and future plans? Also, what are the opportunities for the youth in the rubber sector? Ma'am, Sudha ma'am, request you to kindly answer.
So
Sudha, have you heard the question?
yes, I already briefed upon that. During the past 4 years, apart from our plan scheme activities, we were focusing PMKVY project, especially targeting Kerala for the first year to address the shortage of tappers that could produce good results. There was increase in production as well as productivity. We could form tappers bank, labor banks, etc. Associated with our rubber producers societies. We have mobilized contract but joint farming, joint tapping, adoption of plantation, all these innovative approaches we could mobilize as a result of the skilling program. Normally, annual basis we could achieve a target of 1,000 numbers, but while launching PMKVY we had actually intervention in 13 NR producing states apart from Kerala. So it was very effective, and we wish to scale up this project. And as we are very much interested in associating with the CASE, they have no previous activity in rubber related areas. Of course, we are here. Full infrastructure is here in our institute. We welcome you to visit and have a look upon our infrastructure so we can collaborate, we can motivate, we can mobilize our qualified hands towards entrepreneurship. Instead of we can make them the job providers rather than job seekers. So let us tie together and we can look for new areas, interdisciplinary, of course.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Sudha, you have been mentioning about the improvement in the quality of the sheet rubber.
Yeah.
Do you have some suggestions how to go with that?
Yeah,
to improve the quality of the sheet rubber.
Right. Yeah, that is again, apart from quantity, quality is a concern. So board is promoting RICS mocked sheets. It is earlier it was processed individually by the growers. During the 10th and 11th plan, we were having adequate funding from the government, so we could mobilize around 300 group processing centers in Kerala itself. But due to many reasons, hardly 200 numbers are currently in working condition. Again, that 200 itself requires some renovation. For that, they are lacking funding. Even then, we have a plan to hand over these 100 malfunctioning units to interested entrepreneurs. We look for a private partnership in that. So we, in that perspective, will be launching additional programs with a mission to improve the quality. Currently, the sheet produced in Kerala, right around 25% is below the quality requirement of the tire sector. We are rightly focused to address that issue through upskilling.
Okay. Is it because the farmers are not interested in making good quality products, or they are not aware of all these things? Because high quality means you can get a higher, better price also.
That is the concern.
Yeah.
They are losing interest. Better price is not offered by the consuming sector.
Okay.
That is the reality.
Any other questions?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Since we are running short of time, we'll ask the last question to Mr. Venugopal. What kind of skill sets are required in rubber industry, which is in high demand and the industry needs skilled manpower?
Now the skill set actually needed for an operators or in a rubber industries, basically they should have a good thorough knowledge about about the technical aspect, and they should have a good interaction skill and communication, troubleshooting skill. That's the most important for an operator is concerned, troubleshooting. No? So there should be a proper, even though they are trained, no. So based on their experience, no, they should know have the troubleshooting skill, so that we can have some train like program like on we are conducting some online workshops or like shop floor programs which we are giving a case study, and they should have to troubleshoot the process and like that. So troubleshooting skill is most important for an operator is concerned, and other areas like the interpersonal skill, that coordination skill, that communication skill, and also that other technical skill in connection with the planning, like that also very important, even though we should have an internal plan for each of the even compounding, molding, etc. So this and how what will the behavioral pattern, like all these are the skills which needed in the rubber industry. So now the present issues like that, like like in small scale, actually we are doing this program for a normally for a large scale next for small scale industries. No, they don't have an expertise manpower. So actually that now that's the right time to think of giving a on this program for the small scale industries, especially the RSDC, and we should consider the program for a long small scale or MSME industries, no, which the manpower has not been having that much expertise, etc. So of course, no, now for a bigger industries, labor industries, no, actually these sort of skills and trainings are happening, and they have the knowledge skill, and there's a continual improvement process also, like the skill enhancement is happening on a year and year. But for small MSME industries in rubbers, etc., this is not much in the practice. So it should be given much focus on skill development for the small scale industries. So that is what.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable suggestions. So as we conclude, as Kerala is an important state in rubber sector, as it has highest number of manufacturing industries and highest number of natural rubber plantation. As we have heard from our very eminent speakers that they would be willing to associate with RSDC. So in this context, I would like to thank Case, who has come forward to associate with us. We will be surely in touch with you. You can come forward with the Rubber Board. We have a training centers at Rubber Board. So in the we can, I think we should have a meeting where we'll have a discussion on how we can take this ahead, and industries like HLL will also be there. So indeed, this was a great informative session. On behalf of RSDC, I would like to thank all the eminent speakers, Mr. Subin Das from CASE, Ms. Sudha P from Rubber Board. Ma'am, thank you very much. And Mr. Venugopal from HLL. I would like to thank you each and everyone for your valuable time that you have spared for us. And also Dr. Rani Joseph, ma'am, thank you very much for your time. We look forward for more such webinars. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you very much.
And we are happy to
We have
associate
to
with
think
the Rubber
about
Board.
the multitasking, cluster development, all these things we can think about, and we can
Yes.
think about new courses, modernizing the available courses so that it will be suitable for the present situation. You know, many has returned from Gulf countries and all. They may be having experience in a particular area. If we can sharpen their experience, and as we are going to reduce import from China, we can make new rubber products. All are required, because when the import from China is reduced, we have to produce all these products in India. And so it's a time where we have to think about that, and we have to make our graduates and all, they can become entrepreneurs and make new products for India. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, RSTC, and thank you, Ranima, and all the panelists.